Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a truly wild and often overlooked chapter of American history. The filibuster period of the 1850s. Forget the big official wars for a moment, because this is about something far stranger: private American citizens, not the government, launching their own military expeditions to conquer foreign lands. It's like a real-life rogue adventurer story, but with serious geopolitical consequences. If you thought American expansion only happened through official treaties and government armies, prepare to have your mind blown. This is a story of ambition, daring, and a dash of outright audacity that you won't find in most history textbooks. So grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's unravel this bizarre, true history together. When we talk about American history, we often focus on the American Revolution, the Civil War, or World Wars. But tucked away in the mid-19th century, right before the Civil War, there was this incredible phenomenon known as filibustering. Now, before you think of senators talking endlessly to block a bill, the term filibuster back then had a very different meaning. It came from the Spanish word filibustero, referring to buccaneers or pirates. These American filibusters were essentially private military adventurers, often with grand, if misguided, visions of expanding American influence, spreading slavery, or simply getting rich by taking over other countries. They weren't sanctioned by the US government. In fact, their actions were often illegal under American law, specifically the Neutrality Act, but they frequently had tacit support from powerful individuals, sympathetic politicians, or a public eager for more territory. It's a fascinating, if problematic, look at the early stirrings of American imperialist desires, long before the US truly became a global power. One name stands out above all others when discussing the filibuster period: William Walker. This guy was a true character, a doctor, lawyer, journalist, and eventually, a self-proclaimed president and military leader. Born in Nashville, Tennessee, Walker was highly intelligent but also incredibly restless and ambitious. He envisioned creating new slave states in Central America, believing it was America's manifest destiny to expand southward. His story is so outlandish it almost sounds like fiction. Picture this: a diminutive, quiet man, barely 5 feet tall, leading small armies of American mercenaries into foreign nations, overthrowing governments, and actually becoming the head of state. It's a testament to his charisma, his ruthlessness, and the volatile political landscape of Central America at the time. Walker's expeditions weren't just random acts of piracy. They were often meticulously planned, even if ultimately doomed. Walker's first major filibustering attempt was in 1853, when he set his sights on Baja California and Sonora in Mexico. With just a small band of followers, he sailed from San Francisco, declared himself president of the Republic of Lower California, and then, hilariously, renamed it the Republic of Sonora. He even tried to introduce slavery. Unsurprisingly, this venture quickly fell apart due to lack of supplies, Mexican resistance, and US government intervention. He was arrested upon his return to the US, but incredibly, he was acquitted by a jury in a mere 8 minutes. This acquittal showed the public's widespread sympathy for such endeavors, viewing these filibusters not as criminals, but as daring pioneers extending American influence. It fueled Walker's already insatiable ambition, and he immediately began planning his next, even more audacious move. His most infamous adventure began in 1855, when he was invited by one of the warring political factions in Nicaragua to help them gain power. Nicaragua at the time was a hotbed of civil strife between liberal and conservative parties, making it ripe for outside interference. Walker, ever the opportunist, seized the chance. With just 58 men, known as the Immortals, he landed in Nicaragua. Through a series of brilliant military maneuvers and a surprising victory against a much larger Nicaraguan army, he quickly rose through the ranks. Within a year, he had essentially taken control of the country. He initially ruled through a puppet president, but by 1856, he had himself elected president of Nicaragua. Can you imagine? An American citizen, legally a private individual, becoming the president of a sovereign nation. It's truly a unique moment in history. Once in power, Walker began to implement his vision. He reversed Nicaragua's anti-slavery laws, making it legal once more, which was a huge draw for Southern American support. He declared English the official language and attempted to seize land from the native population and redistribute it. He also tried to secure control of the valuable transit route across Nicaragua, a shortcut between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans that was crucial before the Panama Canal. This put him directly at odds with Cornelius Vanderbilt, the powerful American shipping magnate who controlled the Accessory Transit Company, the main transportation link across the country. Vanderbilt, a man not to be trifled with, became a formidable enemy, using his vast wealth and influence to fund a coalition of Central American nations against Walker. The surrounding Central American countries, Costa Rica, Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala, were deeply alarmed by Walker's rise. They saw him as a direct threat to their own sovereignty and feared the expansion of slavery and American dominance. They formed a military alliance, launching a series of campaigns to oust Walker. These wars were brutal and costly, with significant casualties on all sides. Walker, despite his initial successes, found himself increasingly isolated. His American recruits dwindled, and the support he received from the U.S. was never truly official or sufficient. He faced constant battles against the combined forces of Central America, a deadly cholera epidemic among his troops, and the relentless opposition of Vanderbilt. It was a classic David versus Goliath story, but this time David was an invading filibuster, and Goliath was the combined might of several nations and a shipping magnate. Ultimately, William Walker's reign in Nicaragua came to an end in 1857. After a long and arduous siege, surrounded by Central American forces and cut off from supplies, he was forced to surrender to the U.S. Navy. The U.S. Navy, despite not officially supporting Walker, intervened to prevent his complete destruction, negotiating his evacuation. He was allowed to return to the U.S. under parole, but even then, his ambition didn't die. He attempted 2 more expeditions to Central America, both of which failed miserably. His final attempt was in Honduras in 1860, where he was captured by the British Navy, who also had interests in the region, and handed over to Honduran authorities. On September 12, 1860, William Walker was executed by firing squad in Trujillo, Honduras, bringing an end to one of the most bizarre and audacious chapters in American history. So, what does this filibuster period tell us about early American involvement in Latin America? It highlights a significant, albeit unofficial, expansionist impulse. While the U.S. government officially condemned filibustering, the public often celebrated these adventurers as heroes. It showed a burgeoning sense of American exceptionalism and a belief in the right to intervene in other nations' affairs, particularly if it benefited American economic or political interests. It also revealed the deep divisions within the U.S. itself, with many southern states seeing filibustering as a way to expand slavery and balance power against the North. These expeditions, though led by private citizens, were precursors to later, more formal U.S. interventions in the region. They laid some of the groundwork for the big stick diplomacy and gunboat interventions of the early 20th century. The legacy of the filibusters, particularly William Walker, in Central America is complex. To many, he is a symbol of foreign intervention, exploitation, and disrespect for national sovereignty. His actions left deep scars and contributed to instability in the region. However, his story also reminds us that history is often stranger than fiction, filled with individuals who dared to challenge norms and pursue extraordinary ambitions, for better or worse. It's a stark reminder that the path to nation-building and international relations is rarely smooth or straightforward. These events, often glossed over, are crucial for understanding the complex relationship between the U.S. and its southern neighbors that continues to this day. I hope this deep dive into the filibuster period and the strange tale of William Walker has been as fascinating for you as it is for me. It's truly a unique window into a lesser-known part of American history, full of ambition, adventure, and serious implications. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, please hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel for more historical deep dives and untold stories. Your support means the world to us and helps us keep bringing you these incredible tales from history. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.